Hi, everybody. This is the abridged version of our class this morning. I was trying to get it so that I could show you my screen and be able to show me, but with the Screencast-O-Matic, I can't do that. So for the most part, I'm going to walk you through this, and hopefully it will go. If by any chance, I can only go up to 15 minutes on this, so if by any chance I get cut off, I will finish it in a second recording. But I think we should be able to get through it in that amount of time. So where we left off, we had looked at all of these different printers that we are going to be familiar with by the time we are done this course. And we got to here and there. So so there's a couple things I need to straighten out before we go any further. So when we're making impressions, so putting toner or ink on any kind of substrate is considered an impression. So if you have one sheet of paper, so a sheet is the one piece of paper that goes through the printer. Okay, that's a sheet. That sheet can be printed on one side or can be printed on two sides. So if it's printed on single-sided, that's the sort of industry term that we would use, single-sided, and that sheet can be printed either on one side or both sides. Sorry. Then we move into single-sided. So single-sided is one sheet of paper printed on one side, and that makes one impression. Okay? If it's double-sided, it's still a single sheet of paper, but it's printed on both sides, and it counts as two impressions. So when you're trying to figure out the speed, when you know how fast the machine runs, you got to account for whether it's single-sided or double-sided. So typically, if you see a document that says it's a 60 double-sided booklet, that means it's got 30 sheets of paper and 60 pages. Okay, it's really important to separate what we're talking about between impressions, sheets, and pages. We also know that if we take an 11 by 17 inch document and put 4 pages on it and fold it in half, we've got one piece of paper that now has 2 impressions, but it actually created 4 pages. Okay, so it's one sheet of paper that the way the position is, the way it's laid out, if you fold it in half, you can have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Okay. So, for example, one single-sided sheet printed 500 times would be 500 impressions. You could take a single sheet of paper that's printed double-sided, and both sides of the sheet, print that 500 times, you'd be having to calculate how long it took to make 1,000 impressions. Okay, so I hope that sort of clarifies that whole piece in there. So when we are looking here, it might be 6,600 an hour or 2,400 an hour or per minute. If it's single-sided, it's that. Sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm not getting confused. I'm probably confused. Excuse me, confusing you. So, and this will only be important when you are looking at anything in the printing area, not in the folding and cutting area. Okay, so sheets of paper, impressions / pages. So if we had an 11-17 inch saddle stitched booklet that was 16 pages, that would be 4 sheets of paper with 4 pages on each sheet, 8 impressions. Okay, so if I was there, I could show you. Maybe I'll make another video with an example. I'm not sure. So basically, Will helped us out with, and Helen blew it up for us, so thank you. Number of copies, sheets, etc. So number of original documents. So if it's a 1-sheet document, a leaflet, or if it's a 3-page document, whatever that is, total. So total that by the number of copies that you need, divided by the prints per hour times 60 minutes gives you the time in minutes. Okay, if it's over 60 minutes or 55 minutes or whatever in that area, we would say 1 hour. Okay, we don't leave it at 60 minutes, or we don't write 95 minutes to do something. Okay, so we got to break it down into minutes and minutes, and then you can calculate from there how many minutes are how many hours it is going to take. So 11,000 for the first example that we talked about, 11,000 copies, 6,600 pages per hour equals 1.66 hour times 60 minutes, which basically gave you 1 hour, and I think it was 38 or 39 or something like that, which we're going to round up to 1 hour and 40 minutes. You're never going to be penalized for keeping it exact, 1 hour and 38 minutes, or rounding it up 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's fine, okay? Probably in industry, you wouldn't say 38 though. Okay, so we did these, and I will be posting this whole video, so you'll obviously be able to see the answers to that. So if you get comfortable in these areas, so this is all just kind of one-off sort of thing, and down here we had to calculate the area, so knowing imperial measurements in this case, but I hope someday I can convert to metric as well. So there's the answers to the first one, to the first set of problems, I guess we can call it. So what I'm going to provide you here, and I will, like I said, I'll put the raw application file in there. So I want you to think about a typical handout in our class. So I go around and I give you something, a little document that is 8.5 by 11. It's black and white. In this case, it's going to be printed single-sided, so there's 3 8.5 by 11-inch pages. You've got your PowerPoint on there, or whatever I've got on there, and it's stapled in the top left corner. We're not going to worry about the stapling or anything else like that, right? So for the most part, there's 3 8.5 11-inch pages. I have 1,000 students now. How long will it take to print? Okay, so that's real simple. Get started. I think you can figure that one out. So basically, how many pieces of paper will you need? How many copies to be made? How many impressions total? How long to print? Okay. Second problem is an offset print job. So we've got one 8.5 by 11 color brochure, which is not a flyer, nor is it a leaflet. I don't know. Okay, just think of it as one 8.5 by 11-inch document. It is going to be folded in 3 to fit into an envelope, perhaps. We're going to make 40,000 copies. Oh, I need to put something in here. Thank goodness I'm with you. 2 over 0. 8.5 by 11, 2 over 0. So 2, red and green on one side, and nothing on the back side. Okay, so you can even draw that out, and so that you can think about it and make a little sketch or something like that. Okay, the client wants 40,000 copies. How many plates do we need? How long is it going to take to run? And how long is it going to take to fold? So you'll have to go back to your here and see your running speeds and your folding time. So that's 10,000 sheets per hour, 1,500 sheets per minute, 200 bucks per hour, and so on. Okay. So what I'd like you to do is approach these questions. Sorry. So there's 1, 2, 3 different problems to sort out, and some worksheets to help guide you along that. What I'd like you to do is work on these over the next few days. For me personally, from what I've learned in this last, it's Tuesday. It's day 3 of being online, right? I thought it was forever. What I've learned is repetition. Like the fact that I didn't call you to a meeting yesterday because I missed a step in that call. Or today. Yeah, today. So work on that over the next couple days. Have them complete and hopefully correct. I will post the answers sometime in the next day or two, just to have you double check them. If they're not right and you can't figure out why you're not right, let me know. Get a hold of me. If you see that you weren't right, but you are close, that'll be okay. Okay, so we don't have to think about that too much. Okay, so that is going to be this recording anyway. So like I said, I'm going to post this as, especially the what's most important today was this, I'm sorry, I just got an email there that was a little bit, Okay, so now I'm getting messages. All right, so I'm going to end this, and like I said, please don't ever hesitate to contact me. You know, to be honest, the teams thing is great, but I'm on 12 teams, I think, 12 or 13. So if you really want to get a hold of me, the email or text is probably the fastest. Okay. All right. Thanks, you guys. I'll talk to you soon.